What's up, guys? This is Vaughn from Simply Hawkward Games, and today I wanted to continue my Batman v Superman week. If you guys didn't see me on Twitter, I was talking about how I was watching the Batman v Superman Ultimate Edition, and I watched the Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2. Love all of these things. I'm going to be doing a review on this bad boy right here. It is the Batman v Superman, or this version is like Blu-ray plus DVD plus the digital HD, but it's Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Edition review. Now, a lot of people had like big issues with the original like movie, didn't get very good reviews. I'm a DC fanboy. I think I like that they are catering to DC fans, so they left out things that they thought you might know. Like, they left out the fact that they didn't tell you who Apocalypse was. They didn't tell you about the Parademons. They just thought you would know because it's meant for DC fans, which I'm okay with. Based from, like, a cinema standpoint, it was a good movie. It was a not bad movie. It was borderline good, borderline not bad, but for a DC fan, that was a good movie. It was a great movie. I love this movie. I mean, there's lots of, like, I can't say there's a whole lot of character development. Some of it just happens, like, essentially overnight. Basically, the friendship between Batman and Superman, like, it's kind of ridiculous, but I really enjoy it. I'm excited about Justice League. I'm excited about all of the different spin-offs, like the Batman movie, Suicide Squad coming out soon. Just all sorts of stuff. And the Ultimate Edition, if you guys haven't like watched Batman v Superman at all, or if you already have and you've kind of decided like that's what's what, you're not going to watch anything else, you need to watch the Ultimate Edition. That extra like 30 minutes of movie makes it makes a world of difference. Like, I actually noticed the small bits because I've seen that movie 6 times. I watched it like 6 times in theaters. I paid every time. Like, seriously, I love this movie. And like the Holy Trinity on the silver screen is fantastic. But so the extra 30 minutes gives you essentially just a lot of background. I'm going to do this in kind of like a spoiler-free and then a spoiler section, so I'll let you guys know when I'm getting into spoilers. But you guys definitely need to pick this up. It explains a lot of stuff that I actually really enjoyed. There's a lot of stuff that was left out in the original film that it seems like they definitely just wanted to get people to buy the DVD, which kind of sucks. I mean, I'm not very happy about that, but like, it's a shady tactic, but I love the movie and I was gonna buy the Blu-ray anyway, so it wasn't like any big deal for me. But I would definitely recommend picking it up or like getting it in Redbox if you can. Just anything, rewatch it, decide then, because this extra 30 minutes makes an entire world of difference. Now I'm going to switch over to my spoiler section, so if you guys if you haven't seen this already or you just don't want to know what's in it, make sure you guys click off now because I'm going to be talking about very specific spoilers. So I'll give you guys a couple seconds. Okay, cool. You should have been able to at least click off by now. I mean, I've said spoiler like 6 times, so you should be fine. But essentially, your extra 30 minutes, it's not like it's not a massive like amount of time, but it makes sense for what happens. So essentially, you see a lot of the stuff that they were blaming Superman for that I really enjoyed, because in the original movie they talk about like how they were that village was attacked, that the government cracked down, like all these people died and stuff, and that Superman just killed all these people. And the reason that they thought that, and the whole reason like with the bullet was so interesting, and like there was the special like LexCorp, the special ops people, is because they essentially thought that Superman killed all those people in that compound. Because after they shoot them, what they don't show you is they burn the bodies. They like stack them up and burn them. They make it seem like Superman did this, which I think that's pretty great. I mean, the only person that he took out was the person that like was threatening Lois's life. They show a small bit more with Jimmy Olsen. I just really enjoyed like everything about this. I think it was fantastic. They add like they add filler things that really just have everything make sense. I mean, I didn't need to see like Clark and Lois making out in the tub. I didn't need to see a lot of stuff, but it just adds to these characters. Like, it shows you that they actually have a relationship, Clark and Lois do, and I really love that. I love Clark and Lois being together. I love that he calls her Lo. I love, like, everything about it. A couple other things that they added in that were really great that I, like, didn't expect. You know how the woman was sitting there talking to essentially to the court, saying that, like, oh, the government cracked down and they, like, came in and they killed her parents and everything. Turns out later on, like, in the extended cut, you find out that she lied. She lied because LexCorp was paying her off for threatening her, which I honestly, like, didn't think much of it beforehand. I was like, oh yeah, they must not have showed us that all this stuff happened. Like, this must have happened because of Superman. No, her parents are alive. Like, everything's good. She's good. There's so much stuff in this that just, like, shows you a lot of what happened that you just didn't expect to happen. Like, I wasn't expecting that. Where Superman feels, like, really guilty about the wheelchair and everything, that he didn't see the bomb in there, he just wasn't looking. He, like, didn't want to look at that guy because he felt ashamed. It actually tells you in this that his wheelchair was lined with lead. Lex Luthor knew everything about them. He knew that Bruce was Batman. He knew that Clark was Superman. He knows everything about Clark. This is, like, that kind of makes Jesse Eisenberg's, like, Lex Luthor really great, because he, like, with the Ultimate Edition, it shows you that he actually laid out this plan, and it was much more thought through than you'd ever think. Like, he knew about lead. Who the fuck just guesses that some superhuman can't see through lead? No one. That hasn't even come up yet. The fact that he could see through walls and he has X-ray vision, I don't think has ever come up in these movies, but he fucking knew about it. What? How do you even know about something like that? But I love that. I love that he actually planned, he prepared. It showed that he was smart enough to do all this, even though in the end he seemingly betrays his own, like, civilization for Darkseid, which makes no sense. Like, that is the one thing that I didn't enjoy. I thought Jesse Eisenberg did a great job as Lex Luthor. I like the younger, like, somewhat more hip, obviously insane Lex Luthor. Like, he has some mental issues, and it's very apparent, and I love that. But the fact that he, like, the entire time is talking about, like, depending on the kindness of monsters and all that stuff is like, you literally brought the shittiest guy in space to your own planet. Why? That makes no sense. You're talking about saving the human race. Lex has always been about, like, keeping the human race safe because he thought that the Kryptonians, he thought Superman was a threat. Like, that was his thing. He might be a shitty guy. He might be a villain. But he's doing it to keep humanity safe, which is kind of weird. But in the end, he fucking betrays everything for Darkseid. Like, Darkseid's just gonna be cool with it? No. He's going to have his own sort of world engines. He's going to suck the life out of Earth as you know it. That's what Flash shows you. He shows that everything, like, he just shows that everything that Bruce thought was right, and he shows him the future with parademons, with Apocalypse. He shows them everything. The stuff with Superman, in that, obviously they're going to have a little bit later. I kind of thought that initially, I'm kind of thinking that, like, maybe Lois would have died in, like, basically, if they didn't get together, Lois would have drowned, maybe, in the fight against Doomsday. But I'm not exactly sure. I think they may have given you that scent, like, where Barry pops up and is like, it's Lois, you were always right about him, like, you need to save Lois. I don't think that's happened yet. I mean, I could see how that would have happened. That was the line, like, that if she was to drown, that's what would make it spiral, and he would become a piece of shit and just, like, vaporize people with his eyes. I think something else must happen. Because, I mean, Superman is obviously going to come back. There's no way that they would kill him off. He's a great Superman. There's no way he would just be killed off in, like, the original team up. That just doesn't make sense. Plus, it's exactly like the Death and Return of Superman. I feel like that's just a big joke to them. But altogether, like, I'm pretty sure something else is gonna happen. Like, there's no way he would turn on Batman just because of that. But it is possible, because I don't know. It doesn't seem like at the moment, like in that future scene, he knew who Batman was. That's why he takes off the cowl. Like, if he just knew it, he would say it. But, I mean, obviously he knew it was Bruce Wayne because he alludes to that. But I definitely think something else is going to go on that causes him to, like, rebel and seemingly side with Darkseid. It's just like how Calderon, like, in Young Justice, seemingly, like, hates everybody because they let Tula die. There's, like, there's all sorts of stuff. Like, there's some crazy stuff going on in DC Comics, and I love it. I think the extended cut is fantastic. Like, extra 30 minutes makes so much difference. It shows you, like, essentially the SWAT storming the crashed, like, ship, the crashed Kryptonian ship, finding Lex Luthor there with, like, basically, I'm guessing it is Envoy of Apocalypse sitting there with 2 mother boxes. Obviously, he has a plan. It shows, like, a small extended piece of, like, him in the cell. I loved all of it. I definitely think that the extra 30 minutes is worth that $20. Like, if you have already written this movie off, I would at least try to find the Ultimate Edition in a red box. It's worth it. Like, it makes so much different. It shows a lot of things. I mean, it's not filling in the gaps that if you weren't a DC fan you wouldn't know, but it fills in a lot of, like, plot holes that even DC fans didn't know of. Like, I'm a huge DC fan. I didn't know that bitch was lying. I didn't know she was saying her family was dead because she was threatened. Like, I didn't know that. I mean, you just have to infer. You have to just, like, guess, essentially, that her family did die. You're like, oh, yeah, her family must have died because of what a Superman did. It's like, nah, man, nothing happened. Her family's alive. It actually says her family's alive. It's crazy. But it's definitely worth it. I would 100% recommend you guys at least renting it to see this Ultimate Edition, if not getting it, because it's fantastic. I love Batman v Superman. So if you guys like this video, make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Simply Hawkward. Make sure you guys subscribe for all my upcoming content. I've got some great Funko Pop reviews of the 2 SDCC Batman v Superman ones that were just released. You got, like, the False God, and you've got literally the ugliest Funko Pop I've ever seen. Literally the ugliest. The Doomsday Funko Pop. It is the grossest thing I've ever seen. Seriously. It's like Sloth from the Goonies times 10. It's like, it's crazy. But if you guys remember, like this video, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and make sure you guys leave a comment or two just telling me how you felt about this extended cut. If you guys are excited to see me review these Funko Pops. I hope you are, because I'm excited to do it. But make sure you guys stay tuned, and that's about it. I hope you guys have a fantastic day.